You know what? I saw Jada face. I was in Lowe's Foods and I saw her face on Time magazine, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what it was. But she had a book out. The next thing you know, I see her talking about Will Smith again, bro. It is so annoying just listening to her voice. I saw a comment on Instagram and they were saying that that J. Cole verse that Jada and that Will love, it's not a good line anymore. That used to be a very memorable line of J. Cole, but now it's just not looking good.
We are back 8:14 with Carson and Hoda's exclusive
Let's see what she got to say
Jada
in her
Pinkett
book.
Smith, and everyone's going to be talking about this.
Yeah, she is one half of Hollywood's most powerful couple. She's at the center of constant gossip and controversy, including that slap at the Oscars. She was sitting right next to Will Smith. And when we met up with Jada in her hometown of Baltimore to talk about her candid new memoir, Worthy, she opened up about an issue that has been kept secret until now.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because
I will say this. Jada does look good, boy, but that is one crazy ass bitch.
as I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada
Good God, look at Queen Latifah. That is a beautiful ass woman, boy. I ain't gonna hold you.
separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
That's amazing. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot? Maybe I don't know.
Wow. That should have been a red flag right there.
I mean, I'm baffled, really.
Yeah, right.
Over the next several years, Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend. Neither let the public know they had already split.
So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker,
I am.
No, you're not. You are a whole liar.
except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
All right, let's see what I saw this too, so I wanted to hear what he
Tired
had to
about
say.
hearing the living witch, Jada Pinkett
Living witch.
Shakur Smith, but we
House
must
witch.
rejoice. Her book is an absolute flop.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
I heard that all she talked about in her book was Tupac. I will not be picking up no book and reading this bitch. But I heard that all she did was talk about Tupac.
Has been on tour all over social media with clips that remind you of this.
It's a weight off my shoulders, honestly. And I gotta be honest, I mean, what's even better is that Will and I are in such a good place. And that now we can be together in a way that works for us.
Oh, God.
And that's what I'm most happy about.
Oh.
You know, because we're in a life partnership.
And basically,
Imagine being told work better for us after parading your relationship to the world, constantly embarrassing this once monolith of a man. Oh, but now it just works for you. Oh, it works for us.
I don't understand why. No, you know what it is. I know why. It's the bashing of a man. So that's why she's gonna get her little 15 minutes of fame, and you're gonna fade into darkness again, Jada. Nobody cares about you. Nobody knows you. The only reason why people know you now is because you were tied to Will Smith. If you was not tied to Will Smith, your ass would be somewhere sweeping the stage in Hollywood, trying to get on.
What a liar.
You didn't do good in that Batman show when you played that villain. Saw you for a brief moment. Go and get the fuck out.
She's been promoting her new book. The book is called Worthy. And of course, in the book are people like Tupac, people like Will Smith, Chris Rock, folks like that getting thrown under the bus. But nobody's getting thrown under the bus like Will Smith.
Yeah.
She's talking about how they've been separated for many years, many things about their relationships that we didn't know, and pretty much a lot of criticisms in the game that we didn't expect us to know, and we really shouldn't know. But all of this would come at least some reward. Isn't that what Stephen A. Smith said?
You want to mess with some dude that's your son's friend, as trifling as that may seem in people's eyes, that's your damn business. You want to break up with your husband and all of this stuff, that's your business. But this public emasculation needs to stop. Jada, all you're doing is elevating the level of vitriol coming your way, because it don't matter what you say. There's nothing you can say to a man to justify what you have done to Will Smith.
Nothing. And if another man marries this bitch, you are a sucker ass nigga. Straight up and down. It just wouldn't, there'd be no justification of why anybody else would even be around this bitch.
Every time I see Jada Pinkett Smith talk about Will Smith, I cringe. We kings.
Treat us as such.
We kings. We ain't here to be treated like that. You're queens and you shouldn't be treated like that either, and I get that. Tell me anywhere, biblically, scripture-wise, in any scripture, where it encourages you to publicize your personal business for profit.
And what's crazy, Steven, I actually haven't seen this video before, but Steven, the thing is that, yeah, it feels good to call people kings and queens just off the strength of being a person, but it's just not true. You need to display king behavior.
Mediocre tutorials and reviews.
Before she went out on a tirade, on a public humiliation tour of Will Smith, he was a king. She dethroned him from being the king that he once was, and that is the strength of a serpent woman. If you get married to these women, they have the strength to be able to do that. One of the most sacred things that your wife can covet is your privacy. But she utilized the privacy for profit and forced him into it. In order to be deemed a king, you need to elicit king behavior. In order to be deemed a queen, you must also elicit queen behavior. Stop giving everybody participation trophies for just being alive.
You could just stop it right there. I want to see what her book sale does. Wait,
It's
what?
a complete flop.
Good.
Oh, it was a complete flop.
And here's an example of that right here.
I needed my beads for this one. Jada's book ain't selling.
She got mad teeth.
I looked high and low. I started looking last week. I said, where this book at? That book is not selling. Jada Pinkett Smith book, Worthy. Her life, the marriage, the Tupac. People was like, she was on the Today Show like 1,000 times.
Right.
This book has bombed this early. Barnes & Noble, their list, came in 173.
Wow.
New York Times bestsellers list, number 44. Kindle, it was like 2,700.
Wow.
First off, I kind of figured that it wouldn't do well because y'all told me. Every time I would bring it up, and y'all would do the, Patty, we stick a hand this. We stick a hand about this book. We tied a hand about this book. But I think that she didn't help. Because even I was like, oh, I'm tired of this. These Tupac stories.
This bitch has said Tupac name so much, I'm about sick of Tupac. That's how much she done said his name.
I knew it was in trouble when Will showed up with the family to help promote it in Baltimore. And that wasn't going to help. And I think because at the end of the day, people love Will. And they didn't like how this was all playing out.
The reason why I keep saying that this is good because it de-incentivizes other women for taking the exact same route. If it was a bestseller, then the business of exploiting your husband.
It would be a field day if this thing was a #1 seller, bro. Women would have a field day because a lot more people would start doing it. Kind of like how Sweetie did Quavo when she tried to. You remember when Rihanna did the Chris Brown? Sweetie tried to do the same thing to Quavo. But see, the thing is, Sweetie, is that Rihanna has talent and you don't. You are a pretty face that all you're good for is getting on your knees. Rihanna, on the other hand, without even being signed, she could carry her own. Rihanna is one of those where she cannot drop for years and randomly drop and people will still buy her stuff. Nobody has mentioned Sweetie name in a long ass time. So if this book would have done well, a lot more women would have been doing it. But see, this woman, Jada Pinkett, is basically Sweetie. You don't have the talent. You're not good enough to sell. You're not marketable.
Or your man for money, for clout would be a new trend. But Jada is reminded again is that although she goes out into the public and it's all about me, I, it's your husband that is the star.
And you're a nobody. Now let's see what somebody else got to say about this shit. We're going to do one more and then that's it.
As a 29-year-old man, I've had my eureka come to Jesus moment. I get it. Because I have become very invested and fascinated with a celebrity relationship, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. It's this never-ending disaster, this tragic play that keeps getting new acts added to it that I could have never predicted. It all started last year with the infamous slap where Will Smith slapped the devil out of Chris Rock on stage after Chris Rock made a joke about his wife Jada. And that signature anime finishing move with the slap actually pumped the brakes on his entire career. Like, even prior to the slap, we had those uncomfortable moments where Jada invited Will Smith onto her show, where she just openly admitted to cheating on him and, like, having an entanglement with a much younger man, right to Will's face as he looks on in agony and sadness. And it spawned a lot of memes where Will Smith was, done up to look like Pain from Naruto and all of that. Because, I mean, it's rough. Like, it's really rough to just watch her giggle and laugh about cheating on Will, who seems very much still in love with her. And they always kept up this act that, they're strong together, they're still together, this and that. And now, today, Jada has revealed that her and Will have actually been separated since 2016. She has a book coming out pretty soon, and there was a little special filmed with Jada where she states that they've actually not been together in 7 years now. His career like the Titanic over his ex-wife? But then if that's the case, why would he say, keep your wife's name out of your mouth? Right? Like, that's just not adding up. I feel like she's just making this shit up. For the last year, I've paid attention to this relationship, and it feels like every opportunity she has to hurt Will publicly, she pounces on with a smile on her face. It's diabolical.
Prince, they loved him in the movies, a bad boy. 100%. He had the body, he had everything. Everybody's looking at him. He had a pristine life in the background doing charity work. Everybody was looking at him like he's that dude. And come to find out, you look behind the curtains, and the dude is basically a cuck. He's Nico 2.0. That shit crazy to me.
It is.
So
it is.
How do I feel about the man? I don't know. I don't know what to say about this guy. It's just sad. As far as she goes, she's what she is.
That's crazy because
and now you don't understand why them kids are so weird. How can they not be? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say this too. Willow and Jaden, for the weird environment they had to grow up in, came out very good.
They did good. Well, Will's oldest is not nowhere near that because that's not who he had.
Weirdo Central. But yeah, so we'll see when the full interview comes out if there's anything more interesting, but that's all I got. Anything else you want to say?
I just wish that she shut the fuck up with that.
Man,
Jada,
what?
Stop talking.
She's trying to make some money.
I know she's trying to make some
Good for
some
her.
money.
Go get your money.
But it's like you did enough. It's cool.
And I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, I'm letting him finish.
No, absolutely not. She married a chump. She should make as much money off that chump.
Ooh. Damn, Will.
Good for her. So these chumps learn.
Stop.
Yeah, you know what? Put out a tell-all book. Say his dick game is weak. Say whatever you gotta say.
You know what? I kind of agree. Make Will do something. Not crazy. But make him grow some fucking balls. How the fuck do you get that far in life? You are a bad boy. You are Mike Lowry. How are you this week? I don't know.
So that anybody watching this never tolerate this kind of behavior again. I'm of the opposite mindset of Preach. I hope she destroys Will Smith. Yeah, don't half-ass it, because I don't ever want to see this kind of garbage again from any other individual. Will throw him to the wolves at this point. That's
Damn.
how I feel.
I see what you're saying. I disagree, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, no.
Hey, he chose her.
I understand.
He made his bed. He got lie in it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Well, he doesn't lie in it. Everybody else is.
Well, I saw him slap Chris Rock. That's him lying in it.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I got you, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's lying in it.
No, but he's lying in the bed, too. You just watch it. Can you watch that August come through his crib and be like, hey, you want something for breakfast? Like, nah, I just got done piping your wife. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so tough, bro. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. This damn Will Smith, boy. I can't with this nigga, dog. Grow some nuts, nigga. Fuck is wrong with you?